It might seem crazy, but today you will understand why they hate it when I teach you this for free here in my videos. What profit does a flower shop or a garden center make if you learn how to make your fruit trees produce in pots at home without buying expensive fertilizer? If you have a fruit tree at home, whether it's in a pot or in the ground, and it's not producing fruit like this, look, this one, for example, is a guava tree that is in a grow bag. But look at the amount of fruit forming on this guava tree. There is fruit forming on every branch, even though it is in a small container. Often, with a plant in the ground that has plenty of space and a lot of potential to grow, you can't get it to produce like this, look. But today you will learn exactly the secret that garden centers don't want me to tell you. And what's cooler, what's more beautiful, is that it works for all types of plants. Just look at this lemon tree. This one here is a Persian lime that we also have planted in a pot. Just look at its small size, already loaded with flowers. You will understand everything now about what you must do so yours can look like this too. And without further ado, let's get to the recipe for this powerful fertilizer to make any plant produce flowers and fruits early and with high-quality fruits. You will need a container. It doesn't need to be large. It can be small. And the first ingredient of this recipe is very simple. You already have it at home, and you will use 1 to 2 tablespoons, okay? I'm going to put it here. Look, 1 tablespoon up to 1.5 tablespoons is enough to use here. It's 1 to 2 tablespoons at most, and you need to follow the exact measurements I'm giving you here so it doesn't go wrong. Even if you don't understand, do it exactly as I'm showing you. In the end, you will understand everything. It will all make sense to you. This can be any rice you have at home, as long as it is raw, not cooked, not salted. It needs to be like this. Look, exactly as it comes in the package. It can be white rice, it can be parboiled, any kind, but what you are going to put in is raw. The second ingredient of this recipe is eggshells. Now, how are you going to use this eggshell? You can put it here in this container. You are going to put dry eggshells without the sticky residue. You are going to let it rest in the sun before using it in your recipe because all that sticky egg residue has to come off, okay? Dry eggshells. And the amount you are going to use of these shells here is approximately 3 to 4 eggshells. I know it seems very simple, right? But that's just how it is, guys. This recipe is simple, but extremely powerful for you to get the results we have here with our plants in the nursery. So I'm going to put these two ingredients now, which are the eggshells and the raw rice, straight into my blender. It can be a mixer, a blender. What's important is that we need to grind these ingredients because if you put this in the soil in large pieces, the plant won't be able to absorb the nutrients in it. Look, eggshells are rich in calcium, rice is rich in phosphorus and potassium. However, you can't release this to the plant's roots if it's not in very small particles. The famous eggshell powder, the famous rice flour. There are garden centers that sell this here, but you can make it at home just like this. And we are going to grind this up. But just these ingredients aren't enough, okay? Don't go thinking that it's only eggshells and rice that go into this fertilizer. No, we are just preparing the ingredients here. Do you want to see real results in your plant? I strongly suggest you watch the entire step-by-step process of what we are showing here. Now we are going to grind these two ingredients and then add the next ones. This should be ground for approximately 2 minutes. All of this will turn into a flour, a powder. Instead of buying eggshell powder at garden centers, you are going to make your own. And we are going to start grinding here. Look, now I've turned it off. I'm going to show you the consistency we want for this flour here, okay? I'm going to take it out here so you can see with your own eyes and know what consistency you should let this flour reach when you make it at home. Look at the consistency. This little dust will come up to the top, but that's the flour we want. Now, when it reaches this point, don't take it out of here yet, because we are now going to add the other ingredient that we will use in our recipe, which is one of the main ones. The third ingredient is this dark powder right here. Look, this powder can be a different color too, okay? It comes in a light brown color as well, no problem, it can be any of them. So we are going to add the amount of 1 tablespoon for this quantity of fertilizer we put in here, which was approximately 4 eggshells and 1.5 tablespoons of rice. We ground it up, it turned into this powder. We are now going to add this black powder. Do you know what this is? Before I reveal the name, I know you guys love to discover what I use here, but comment below what you think this dark powder is that we are going to put in the recipe. Comment down below, I'll reveal it shortly, and I want to see if you guessed right or not. But you can't comment later. You have to comment right now what you think this is. We are now going to add a small spoonful of this product here, which is a fertilizer rich in phosphorus, potassium, and organic matter. It is one of the main ingredients to stimulate flowering and to make the fruit that will grow on your plant come out sweet. Now we are going to close our blender again and blend a little more to mix all of this that we have in here. But there is one more ingredient at the end that we are also going to add, only this one will be separate. I'll explain it to you perfectly. Relax, you will understand everything, okay? Let's blend a little bit here. You don't need to blend much here. Now we just need to mix it because this black residue we put in here is already a powder, right? It already comes as a powder. So we just mixed it here, and now I'm going to take out this fertilizer that we've already prepared. Look, just here, guys, we already have a very powerful fertilizer, but we are going to improve this even more. And there is the secret of the application that makes all the difference, right? I'm going to put this powder right in this container here, so it's easy for you to see how it turns out. This goes a very long way, even though it seems like a little, we use very little on the plant because it is concentrated. Let's take it all out. And this is how it will look, see? After being finely ground, the plant absorbs this quite easily. We already have a large part of the recipe ready here. And we are also going to add the third ingredient, which is what actually gives life to this whole mixture, making all of this be released quickly and continuously into the soil of our plant so the roots can absorb calcium, potassium, phosphorus, manganese, nitrogen, all the macro and micronutrients your plant needs to stay healthy, strong, and vigorous, bringing forth new fruits. And this one here, guys, many people already know, and it can be 2 ingredients, this one here, okay? There are 2 things that work here. I am using bokashi, which is one of the main organic fertilizers used in gardening. I use this brand here, but it can be any brand. You can use any bokashi. If you don't have bokashi at home and you have worm castings, that works very well too. You can use worm castings along with this mixture here to make all of this very complete, but not just complete with nutrients, also improving the soil biology, thus making your soil have more life to transform ingredients into nutrients. And the amount of bokashi I'm going to use here is small. I'm going to put in just 1 tablespoon here. Look, for this amount of fertilizer we are making. I'm going to mix it well, an important detail. This little flour, the finer it is, the better, the faster it will be absorbed by the plant as a nutrient. While I am mixing this mixture here, I want to know something very important from you. Comment down below where you are while watching us, your city, your state, because we love to know how far our content is reaching, how far our tips are going, and there are a lot of people watching us from other countries. That's right. There are many people from Brazil who are far away, and there are many people who are even further away watching us from other countries. So comment down below so I know how far our content is reaching, and check right now if you are already subscribed to the channel. Okay, our recipe is ready, and now comes the most important part, which is how you are going to use this correctly, the periods you are going to use it, and where you are going to put it on the plant. And now you need to pay close attention so you don't say later that we didn't teach it right or you applied it and it went wrong. Because if you do it the way I teach you here, there is no way it can go wrong. Come with me. I have a lychee tree in a pot here. It was recently planted. It's still in a small container. It will be moved to a larger container. And here I have a capacity of approximately 15 to 20 liters of substrate in this pot. And what is the amount I'm going to use in a pot that is still small? I'm going to come here, look at the base of the plant. I'll grab a little twig right here from the ground and make a little hole here. Look at the edge of the pot, further away from the roots, okay? Because the roots will come to absorb the fertilizer that is here. I'll make just 1 little hole here. Look, you don't need much. Now I'm going to take my fertilizer. I'll put just 1 tablespoon of the fertilizer here. And this is the amount I'm going to use on this plant that is in a pot of approximately 15-20 liters. And here we put our fertilizer. Let's bury it here. You don't need to bury it deep down, no, okay? We are just going to cover it here to start releasing it into the soil of my plant. After I put this fertilizer in my plant's pot, then what am I going to do? And now I'm going to do the basics of all fertilizing, which is basically giving it a light watering. Guys, this is not a watering to actually hydrate the plant. No, it's a light watering just to moisten the substrate and start releasing the nutrients to the plant. Notice that I need nutrients even to make this rooting happen here, which has already started to happen. The air layering rooting, a plant that is already made from air layering, will produce early, but I am giving it nutrition to strengthen the whole plant, produce quickly, and also generate roots in abundance. What makes these roots grow well is precisely the phosphorus. But what if my plant is not in a 15-20 liter pot? It's in a pot with a 40-liter capacity. Then what I'm going to do, guys, is different. I'm also going to make a little hole here. Look, on the side of the pot, further away from the roots, and I'll make another little hole here. Look, on the other side of the pot. So I have two holes here in a 40-liter container. And now instead of putting just 1 tablespoon of the fertilizer, like I put in the other pot, I'm going to put one on this side here. Look, in this little corner. I'll cover it and I'm trying with just one hand here, but I think it will work. I'll now put another tablespoon of the fertilizer down here. Look, in the bottom corner of the pot here. So there will be fertilizer on both sides of the plant. Let me even take this off because this seedling is grafted. There will be fertilizer on this side here. On this side, it will be a total of 2 tablespoons for 40 liters of substrate. And you have no idea how fragrant these flowers on this Persian lime are. It's a very pleasant smell. And then you fertilized. You already know, right? Come in with the watering, give the substrate a light moistening here to start releasing the nutrients from this fertilizer you put in. But how often do you apply this fertilizer to your plants? I'll tell you now, but first I'm curious to know who guessed what this black powder is here. Look, this black powder here, it's a powder we used in our mixture, mixed together with the eggshells and together with the rice. And now I'm going to reveal its name to you. You probably already have it at home because everyone who grows plants already knows this. And this powder here, it is nothing other than bone meal. Guys, this bone meal, it is extremely rich in phosphorus, in potassium, and it strengthens the plant's entire root system, improves root health for nutrient absorption, in addition to producing blooms on your plant. And that's why it is so important in this fertilization, besides providing, of course, microorganisms and organic matter, because it is also 100% organic fertilizer. And it is also in this mixture. In fact, I'm going to apply it here to my jabuticaba tree, and I'll tell you how often you apply this, because you can't use this every day. You can't use it every week. This here is a fertilizer that you will apply with a frequency of 30 days. So once a month you apply this fertilizer here, guys. Here I have a pot with approximately 60 liters, okay? That's why I'm going to use here, not just twice, I'm going to use 3 times 3 tablespoons of this fertilizer here. So I will repeat this application here after 30 days. I applied it today. I did the whole step-by-step perfectly. In 30 days, I repeat it. And this jabuticaba that you see me applying it to here, it is already blooming again. It has already produced, in fact, look here. Look, there are the little skins of its fruits. It has already produced, and despite its young age. So we are doing this fertilization for it to repeat its multiplication. If you have a large jabuticaba or a large fruit tree there that is planted in the ground, then you can use 5 to 6 tablespoons. Every month you will see a very large production. It will also produce well-filled fruits. And another thing, tasty, you know? Very sweet because of the potassium that turns exactly into the sweetness of the fruit. Now, what no one tells you, it is extremely rich. It's true, it's very good. It has all the nutrients your plant needs to produce quickly, but it doesn't replace the simplest care, like constant watering, which is what will keep your plant always hydrated, especially hydration cannot be lacking in the flowering and fruit formation phase. Okay? Another very important thing, sun, light. Every fruit plant needs abundant light to always produce well. What you must never do is leave our videos without first sharing them with someone else. Send this content to someone who has a small farm, who has a ranch, to someone who really likes plants, and help this person because this content is free. There is one thing that is also very important, but first I need to thank you who support our project. In fact, if you are watching this video right now and it's free, consider supporting our project. Come be part of this team, because without this group that supports us, it would be impossible for us to produce this content and bring this knowledge to you for free. We would have to do like the others in the market who charge to bring this professional content to you. So if you want to support us, check out the options below. And more importantly than that, check if you are already subscribed, already turned on the notification bell, so you don't miss the next contents like this one here on the channel. And you absolutely must not leave this content without first watching this one that I'm leaving right here on the side for you to watch. It has already helped thousands of people, and it will help you too. A kiss to your heart and see you in this content here. If this growing secret changed the way you look at your plants, subscribe, and leave your like on the channel. We are revealing the techniques that many try to hide so that you can harvest the best of nature. Cultivate your future. The next green treasure will be open soon.